Hey everyone, see if anybody joins me here for a hammer rant. If anybody is interested in an actual hammer rant, because I don't think I'm actually going to rant today, I'm just going to talk a lot post night shift, which sometimes happens more of a ramble than a rant. If anybody actually wants to see me rant, go over to the Holist Business page, not this Facebook group, and take a look in the medical Mondays videos from I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago. And I got some video that had 8,000 views because I told it what I think about the medical system. Anyway, hopefully someone joins us here. But so I'm Heather, obviously. I work nights in emergency medicine. I am post night shift of my last, I think I did 5 in a row, which is a little short for me. I usually do 7. And I got home a little bit early, and if anyone was watching my personal stories, I wanted to exercise before my kids and my husband woke up, and so I worked out in my scrubs, which I'm still currently wearing, and no hair tie, and then I got my kids to school, and here I am. So, keeping it real. So, hi, Melissa. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about what my theory of weight is. So, I'm constantly talking about the what and the when and the why, right? And you guys can go through all the units and all that stuff and see various parts of why I think that those are the 3 key pieces. But I want to talk a little bit about why I think that is. And again, this is totally not planned. This is just me post-night rambling. So, okay. I think of the way that our body deals with weight as a storage of energy. So if you imagine that your body has decided over decades, probably for most of us, based on your experiences and your rewards and your failures and your thoughts about yourself and successes and losses, that it needs to ration how much energy it has, literal energy, glucose to put into the ATP cycles, for those of you who are super geeky like me, and the aerobic, and anaerobic's a little more complicated than that. And so it has to decide to ration it instead of to use it, because it thinks you're schizophrenic and it doesn't know when it's going to get food next, even though we all know we're always going to get food next, right? There's no scarcity here for us, thank God. So it is basically stuck in a feedback mechanism where it thinks it needs to constantly store food or store fuel in your fat cells. And those of you who may have seen the insulin, more info on insulin that I did the other day, maybe 2 weeks ago now, I talk about this. So you're in a feedback mechanism. You eat, you use the energy that you're going to use, and you store the rest in your fat cells and in your liver and some in your muscle, but that's too much information. So, hi, Carl. Thanks for joining us. So you're storing in those cells, and then your adipose tissue is making hormones that interact with the hunger hormones in your brain, that interact with your digestive hormones, and then you store more, and you just keep going and going and going. Even though you're continuing to eat, you continue to store. Your body knows how to access that energy in your fat cells and use it. But if you are continuing to eat, it is not going to access that fuel, and you're going to continue to store. So that's kind of one basic kind of feedback mechanism that we're talking about. So how do we break that? How you break that is with the what and the when. You break it by eating unprocessed food, so you're not spiking your hormones that want you to store. That's the what. And the when is you give yourself breaks in between your meals so that your body remembers that it knows how to get its own fuel. So that's the simplistic part of it. Then we start getting kind of super brain geeky instead of super body geeky, okay? So we get to the why. Our brains have done the same thing as our bodies. Our brain has decided over decades of experiences and rewards and wins and losses, what our subconscious thoughts should be. So those of you who've gotten on a strategy call with me know this. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for watching. Is that I strongly feel that we are running on subconscious thoughts that we've created over these years, these thought train tracks, I call them, these 60,000 thoughts we have a day, of which we are really aware of only a fraction of them. And those are the things that are creating our actions. They're creating our feelings, they're creating our actions, and we get to our results. So if you can't control the thoughts that you have, then how are you going to get to the results that you have? So this is where the why comes in, right? So for that biology feedback mechanism of storing all of that energy instead of using it, that's the what and the when. When it comes to the why, this is almost the harder work. And my holist clients know this. That's why we have our own entire set of mindset coaches that bust through the shit with you is because, first of all, you have to access those thoughts. Then you have to recognize them as being something that doesn't serve you. Then you have to create new thoughts that will get you the results that you want. Sometimes involves working backwards to get to those. And then you have to implement it. So that's the when. So summary, my what, when, and why. The adaptive biology portion of this is figuring out how to shortcut and get back that biologic feedback mechanism that we have between all of our hormones. Again, fat, liver, brain, digestion, all of it's so complicated and so amazing. That's why I'm a geeky doctor, because I love this shit. And figuring out how to become a fat burner instead of a sugar burner. How does that sound? For the brain, we've got to get into the cycles of these subconscious thoughts that we have that we're not aware of. We need to recognize it, access it, change it, implement it, and get new subconscious train tracks that serve us. So I hope that was helpful. Again, this is me post overnight shift, having exercised, having gotten my kids out of school, into school, I should say. And I'm going to go walk the puppy, and I'm going to go to sleep for the day. And some of you who are watching, I have calls with in the next couple of days. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And always lovely to see you guys. I'm off this tomorrow some of you may have noticed my calendar is kind of blocked off for this weekend for calls, which is really exciting not because I don't want to talk to you, because I always do, but because I'm going to the Pinnacle Conference for women physicians. It's for private practice women physicians. It's in Dallas, and I get to be a speaker, which is super exciting. And the women who are running this conference are just like absolutely astounding, and I'm so pleased to be a part of it. And I'm sure I will update you all from there. And in the meantime, you guys have an awesome weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.